new Heidi Hamilton show. Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Her feelings are already hurt.
I don't care.
Oh.
It takes a little more than that to hurt my feelings.
We can tell. You can't lie to us anymore.
Must sting to be left out.
When the morning show apologized for being
Danny's
running a little long. It's like, I want to apologize to Frosty and Frank.
And Heidi was sitting here and heard that, and it's like,
to Frosty and Frank.
I would have done the same thing. I would have done more than Heidi did. I'd still be crying. I'd still be in tears.
I ain't crying.
Hers are dry now.
I'm surprised you're not still crying from yesterday's show. Did you listen to the repeat hour? To hear what buffoon you sounded like?
Goofing around here. I didn't actually get in my car.
I know. No,
I will concede one thing, that you did, in the beginning, say, oh, well, wait, I guess if the glaciers are melting or snow caps are melting, then that would be a push. Ha, ha, ha,
yeah,
ha.
Early in the discussion, like the first minute of it.
Then the argument started right after that. About the glass of water ending up from Iowa. No, I'm saying that's where the argument started. So, yeah, you did say that. I will concede that you did.
Thank you.
At the end, I said it just to basically shut you up.
Right.
But you have to admit that you were off yesterday by a ton. And the only reason I say this is because what you seem to have forgotten is that when I was in college, I was studying geology. And
there is that.
The semester before I left school to do radio, I was thinking about going on to graduate school and being a hydrologist.
That's true.
I was going to be Mr. Water Guy.
That's true. I know
that. So, in that sense, you knowing that, you probably should at least at some point let me be the expert on certain things, and you go, you know what? I didn't know that. I will trust you that what you say is gold.
Look, I don't care if you got a PhD in it, 20 years at Well Drilling Incorporated. You're still wrong on that.
No, I'm not wrong.
Let me take 30 more seconds, because I thought of something later that I didn't explain it well. Oh, I'll use this as a prop. See this bottle of Diet 7-Up?
Yeah.
Okay, so here this bottle is full. Well, anyone who has a glass of anything or a bottle of anything, when you pour it out, some of it remains on the side, okay? So that was my point, is as the water is poured, taken out of the aquifers and the water supply underneath.
Here we go again, folks.
Or from the oceans, yes, a good portion of it, most of it eventually ends up as steam and vapor and goes back to the clouds and comes back down as rain, and some of that will get back to the ocean, but not all of it. Some of it stays in every step of the way. This bottle, as I drink this Diet 7-Up, a bit of it stays along the sides of the plastic container here, while most of it goes in me. So you can't say that I'm going to urinate it all out later. It all makes it back to the 7-Up plant. Some of it stays in the bottle. A little bit of it will evaporate as sweat and stay as mist in the general area here. It's not all going back to the plant where it was bottled. That was my point.
What, meaning the ocean?
Yeah, the ocean in that analogy is the bottler. Some of it on every step of the way.
But it will.
All of that.
Oh, my God.
No, see, like I said, this is where I'm the expert.
It's like Groundhog Day.
If I have questions about the fried food or gay sex, I will ask you and trust you.
Gay sex?
But in this case, I understand what you were saying, but you're acting like the water in the bottle on the wall is going to stay there forever. No, it probably will evaporate out of that bottle into the air, and it will eventually make it back to the ocean. Not at the same exact time as your flush did, but it will make it back. It's called a hydrologic cycle. Ooh. It's a cycle because it's a circle. Everything happens. The only water that's not going back in the system is the water that's locked up into ice. And until it melts, it'll enter the system. It has to melt to enter the system again. If it's locked up in ice cubes, well, it's stuck in the solid form, and it's not going to make it back to the ocean until it melts.
Why can't you be vaporized by a pyroclastic cloud?
Oh, my God.
This is when you're trying to pretend you're smart, and that's what's so freaking annoying.
That's what
and this
killed
is
him
where I have expertise.
Vesuvius.
So I admit that you said that. I didn't hear it the first time, but that wasn't even the argument. So, we'll move on.
No, see, you're claiming victory and moving on, and I'm not conceding.
I have water stories, too.
Well, you don't have to concede to be a moron.
But you're declaring victory, and I'm not going to be Al Gore here.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Can I just...
No, because you're just spewing
that's not
idiocy.
fair, then, is it? You can't declare victory and then not let me respond. That's not a very good debate.
I guess it's not very Christian of me to sit here and not let the moron talk.
You can't not let the other side respond. That's the basic debate or discussion rules.
You're not listening.
You're not listening. It doesn't go back to the exact same
God, here we
place.
Go.
What you just said is true, but it doesn't go to the same place.
What do you mean same place?
The bucket of water that comes out of the ocean in the Pacific Ocean, when it goes through being put into bottles,
I wanted to move on,
and watering crops and clouds, it doesn't all go back to that same ocean. Some of it may go back to other, but it gets spread around, and some of it is steam and evaporates. That ocean goes down one bucketful. It doesn't, in some future day or year or century, go back up a bucketful. It goes other places. Some of it is landlocked now. The water supply, the water tables, the fresh water, we're losing our fresh water supply.
Thank you.
I got you,
I give up.
We're not losing
I absolutely
our fresh
give
water
up on this one.
Exactly.
I've made my point.
You're proving my point.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm saying I give up because it's a worthless fight, because you just will not acknowledge that I'm partially right. Partially right.
I'm completely right.
No, you're mostly right, but I'm partially right. You're 75% right. There's 25% correctness that you're refusing to acknowledge.
Can I get a shot of salsa?
This is why
tequila?
arguing with you is impossible. This is why you'd love to be alone, because you couldn't stand to have somebody
for God's sake,
smarter than you in a certain area.
Look, I read,
try to teach you something where you could actually take that knowledge, learn it, and then apply it later on with somebody else. Instead, you want to argue points and then take bits and pieces of their argument to make yourself sound smarter, like
Mr.
you're talking about.
You should see the back of my toilet.
I don't know it all, but I know water.
Do you know what's on the back of my toilet? Do you have any idea what's right now as we speak on the back of my toilet tank?
Pudding.
Empty bowl of chili.
Okay, those things as well. But in addition to that, underneath the pudding and the chili, there's a National Geographic. I just read this. It had 2 months ago an article of the nation's water supply, where we have this awful drought that's plaguing most of the country. This is the worst drought, I think, going back since 1865 or something. Since they've been keeping records, this is the worst drought. This is like Dust Bowl 2. It could be that in a year or two. And it has all these photos of these freshwater reservoirs.
Too. We'll probably have another one.
Well, I know. It's the natural cycle of things.
Yeah, it's called a cycle.
But but the point is, this thing was about the water.
Earth's 4.5 billion years old.
It had photographs. You could see visual proof of the water reservoirs that are now at their lowest levels. You can see the bathtub ring 20 feet in the air where the water used to be. Now, it has been used and used and used to the point where the freshwater supply is being depleted. And a lot of that water has gone other places now, okay? You irrigate it, you spray it on crops in Colorado. That water came from somewhere upstream on the Colorado River, so that place is losing its water supply. Our fresh water supplies are going down because that water is ending up in other places or being distributed in other methods or, irrigated or bottled or peed out or turned into clouds or whatever. But the fresh water aquifers are going down very fast, and we're going to run out of fresh water someday because of that.
No, we won't.
That's the point I was trying to make. Yes.
No, we won't.
The water's still there in the form of clouds and whatever else, but the fresh water supply is being depleted. It's going down. They can see it measured. It's true. Oh, you should read National Geographic instead of all that pornography you look at.
Yeah, they are the experts on hydrology.
Whatever.
I'm just saying you're wrong. And you're proving my point.
Yeah, whatever.
Actually, I don't need to argue with you because you talking disproves my point. So, there we go.
Now, what's that supposed to mean? Me talking proves your point.
Because you're completely wrong, and everyone knows that. So I don't need to actually argue the other side.
Mind. Frank, everything I say is wrong, is it? Everything.
Really, everything you said.
Well, Frank made his point, you made yours.
Disappear someday, that's ridiculous.
I just read a thing on this with pictures, photographs, arrows, circles, colored photographs.
Everybody knows who listens to the show that you don't read an entire story.
I looked at the pictures and I read the captions underneath.
There you go.
The centerfold of National Geographic had a
you're an expert.
Big old hole. Used to have water in it. Mm-hmm. I've got it on my wall. The water hole.
You need to go back to when they taught this to elementary school kids and use Ronnie the Raindrop and follow him around through his life cycle.
Well, that's a very simplistic way.
Well, that's exactly what you need to see again.
No, Ronnie the Raindrop is very simplistic.
You've forgotten what Ronnie the Raindrop is all about.
There's more complicated whatever. Did you know that I had...
You're the one who takes your argument and starts meandering other ways to get off originally what you said, that a glass of water in Iowa will evaporate and stay in that room. Is that exactly what you said, and that's how the argument started. Now you're elaborating on
I said the room, the closed office building, the general area. It was like, okay.
But then the guy called yesterday and said that water, will evaporate. It will go to the air ducts. It will then go out into the air.
So I don't need to argue the other side,
Frank,
because you proved me right.
While you were declaring your major in aquified geology or whatever the hell it was, the declared major means nothing. You were drinking and just sleeping and missing classes. Yeah, that was a major big deal. While you were doing all that, did you know I was taking classes in meteorology because I was considering being a weatherman at one point in my early broadcasting career?
You're so
Why not? They couldn't see the nation behind you. You just wore.
If only I worked.
You just wore the nation on your T-shirt.
Right, if only the nation were bigger. If only I did weather for the Soviet Union. But anyway, I mean,
the same class. It was actually meteorology was an elective for people.
I took
science.
2 meteorology classes, 101 and 102.
Science classes. Everyone had to take that.
I took earth science too. Anyway, I know a little bit about clouds. And the Kinley Heaviside layer.
Yeah, and swimming in space. I know you learned a lot in college.
Well, that was the junior college.
What are your degrees in? Anything in science?
There's so many I can't even remember.
You don't have a BS, do you?
Well, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a degree in science to know about science.
No, you had one undergraduate course.
Yeah, but I've seen more Nova specials than you.
Meteorology 101.
I've probably read more scientific articles lately than you have.
Let's talk about...
When's the last time you read anything since college?
I was trying to move on, people.
Well, whatever. I'm not conceding the water discussion. I'm giving up. There's a difference. It's kind of like...
plead no contest.
No, it's not no contest.
Doesn't mean you're not guilty.
No, it's like when Dennis Kucinich drops out of the presidential primaries. He's not saying...
you have no support?
Yeah, he's not saying he's not saying I'm wrong about anything. He's saying, hey,
no one agrees
I'm right,
with you.
but I can't win, so I'm going home.
No one agrees with you, so you're not going to get any votes?
I'm taking my rightness and putting it in my pocket. I'd rather be right than president. That's what he's saying.
You feel like John McCain about right now?
No, Kucinich.
No, John McCain's probably going to drop out. He's going to get any support.
Yeah, what's with him? He's like sinking. Fred Thompson vaults number 2 in the GOP polls.
With the side of his face, John McCain.
It's red and splotchy.
Well, no, on his left side, it's big, bold. It's like he's got nuts in his, like he's a chipmunk.
There's
just
scars.
on one side, though.
Oh, just the one side?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like acne scars.
It's bigger than ever.
Was it something he got when he was tortured in Vietnamese prison? That with the lights just right, you can see it? Maybe because there's so much less humidity in the air. Because all the water is, well, you know where the water is. Now everyone's calling about this, and I don't even want to talk about this.
You don't even drink water.
No, not in liquefied form.
Well, no, he claims
you hate water. Really.
Diet 7-Up. He goes, well, there's water in this, but it's got,
I do have a water story, so at least there's a segue to get the hell out of this hell known as Frosty's brain.
Go ahead, Mr. Wizard.
In North Bend, Oregon, middle school student Kylie Ray Catherman had a hunch something was amiss in the school's drinking water fountain. Because they were not outlawing, but it was against the rules to take bottled water to class.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Well, that's just a school rule. They were like, I get it, and kids were sneaking in gin or vodka.
Okay.
And this is middle school, junior high. And so what this girl did, or he did, Kylie Ray, is a guy. Okay.
Kylie?
Well, it's Kyleray. Kyle Ray? But it's one word.
It's got to be a girl.
Kyle Ray.
No, it's a guy. So he tested the bacteria content of 4 water fountains in one toilet. And found out that the toilet was cleaner than the school water fountain. So he's, now saying, well, you have to allow us to have bottled water because we have or worse than toilet fountains.
How can the fountains be that full of?
Well, because the toilets are cleaned on a basis. There's a janitorial. They're going to come in and do the cleaning where a water fountain.
Even though I know it's cleaner, I don't think I could get down there like a cat and start lapping up toilet water.
No.
I assume they meant the water in the tank, not the bowl.
No, the bowl.
And the bowl. He swiped the bowl.
Oh, my God. And the fountain was worse.
Because you know those kids that... Well, when I went to Catholic school, it was like an older school, so the water fountains at the school didn't have that water that shot up out of it that you could kind of stand away from the spigot.
You had to suck the nozzle?
Yeah, so when you're a kid... You
know what to do, Steve.
The water didn't come out very much, so if you wanted to get in there, you had to really get down there.
I avoided those fountains.
I would never use it either.
But
I always had to get the high arch fountain.
I know, Frank, but right after
gym... The one that gets you in the face first.
Right after gym class and dodgeball, and you're just soaking wet, and you guys are lining up, and you're like, hurry up, come on! And you're so thirsty, and you're like, oh, please don't give me that one.
Or maybe in elementary school, I remember the short fountains that had like 3 on there, so 3 kids could drink at a time.
Yep.
And those were always weak.
Oh.
And you had to get your mouth right on it.
And kind of warm sometimes.
Have you been to a school where those are lately and bend down and throw your back out trying to use them? Remember when you were a kid?
Why
it was like as tall as...
Yeah.
Well, I had that hearing.
Right.
That little matter I had to clear up.
Hole just gets bigger and bigger every day, doesn't it?
It was the week that I was supposed to inform the kids. It was guest speaker week, and I was going to talk about freshwater aquifers. But they had a call. Somebody heard something on the radio and suggested I know what I was talking about.
That'll be a day.
Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. It's amazing what you can find on TrueVO.com. That's TrueVO.com. TrueVO.com or TrueVO.com. Such things as, this is true. I'm not even going to get into it. Just check it out. I'm aware of this. It's crazy. One of the many video clips you can see this week is the military plans for a gay bomb. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did.
The Defense Department is admitting an activist group claimed that there were plans for an aphrodisiac-producing bomb, which was submitted for laboratory investigation. They turned it down. You can watch the video on that. The idea was to drop this bomb on the terrorists or the insurgents, would turn them all gay.
Didn't we talk about this years ago? And now it's back in the news?
Do you know how much it's costing? How much they're saying it's like millions of dollars to create this thing?
A buttload?
Well, the Pentagon.
There we go.
Thank you very much. And we're back, folks.
Trivial.com.
Don't leave yet.
Check it out. We're Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
6th grade sometimes is in junior high, and then sometimes it's the last grade of elementary school, right? Because I know mine was 5th grade, then I went on to 6th, 7th, 8th.
That was
junior
middle
high,
school.
then 9th on was high school.
Me too.
But sometimes I think elementary school goes to 6th grade because this particular school in Akron, Ohio, there was a 6th grade graduation ceremony, and state education officials are investigating a Northeast Ohio charter school that served gin to 6th graders as at a graduation ceremony.
Well, they grow up sooner these days.
Yeah. Celebrating a little
Gin.
early. 4 students were given a teaspoon of gin mixed with water in a ceremony modeled on a Ghanaian rite of passage event.
Okay.
Was it a religious organization of some kind? Some sort of
no, it's
Indian, Hindu?
The school's curriculum emphasizes African history and culture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the ritual was intended to teach truthfulness. The students were blindfolded, given them the uncertain feeling that goes with moving from one stage of life to another. Each student was given a teaspoon of water and a teaspoon of the gin water mix, and then asked to identify which contained water. The students recognized that the gin wasn't water and spit it out before swallowing. The point is to teach a child to be honest.
I have no problem with this. No problem whatsoever. It seems kind of weird, but it's not getting them drunk.
Shocking. Frosty has no problem giving children alcohol.
Come on. See, when you first said
my problem is it's watered down.
I know.
Give them a shot.
Right.
See, the knee-jerk reaction when you first hear it is, oh, no, they all got drunk and wasted. No, that's not what it was at all. It was a ritual. It was spat out. It wasn't that much anyway.
It's part of an ancestral African tradition. It's not like they're drinking 100 proof alcohol here.
It's
just
fine.
If they wanted to take a sip, they could, or they could spit it out and be honest.
That's fine. It's just a sip.
But they're investigating.
Investigating. Hey, is it true that you can serve booze to your kids, like at dinner?
No.
Maybe it varies state by
so,
state.
yeah, you can.
If you're having spaghetti, I'd heard that you can pour a glass of wine for your children in your house.
I think you can.
No.
I thought I'd heard that too.
Yeah.
Well, no one would know, of course. So,
But
yeah, you can do anything
But even
you
if
want.
someone found out, I don't think you're going to get arrested or a ticket.
That's what I heard
It's
too. That it was
contributing
legal.
to the delinquency of a minor.
Not really. If it's a meal.
Not if it's my minor.
Oh, well, yeah, Frank, it is.
Not if it's my minor in my home and it's not getting S-face. It's just like Frosty said, a glass of wine was your sket.
You're absolutely wrong.
Well, you can't.
I don't know.
You can't sit there and drink 6-packs with them, but I thought that there was some sort of loophole.
So what's
That
the
if it's
limit? Just
a
one glass
beverage-
is okay? Well, how big can the glass be?
Well, see, now you're ruining a good thing.
well, see, that's-
You're like a lawyer.
Yeah, why?
Is it my
and
size glass of
abuse
wine?
the law when you're going to give the kid a barrel of wine.
Or is it a sippy cup? I mean, what are we talking about? I don't think you can.
A reasonable glass
one's
of
gonna
wine.
know.
It's people like you that ruin it for the rest of us.
People like me, I wouldn't care.
Well, how big's the glass?
I just
why
drink
can't-
all their
Don't
wine.
we all have an idea what a glass is?
Yeah, a glass of wine.
It's an actual measurement. 1.
6-ounce glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So you
the
can only
thing.
have one.
Well, I don't know if it's just one, maybe 2. I don't know.
I don't think you can.
The kid can't get drunk.
No, and it wouldn't if you.
They can't blow over the legal limit, I think, but if they can have one glass.
And you're having dinner. I mean,
See-
you can't finish dinner and have them continue to sit there and sip wine all night.
Can the kid have 1 ounce shot of whiskey? I'm
What,
asking.
well, what are we eating?
We're eating
Barbecue.
fried chicken and mashed taters.
That's not a whiskey food.
Well, it's a whiskey food. Whiskey doesn't really go
You
with
don't
food.
really drink whiskey with any
You
sort
want
of
whiskey
dinner.
on an empty stomach,
Whiskey and beef jerky.
like tater chips or something.
What does whiskey go with, other than everything? But you don't
I
have
like
it as a
whiskey on an
meal.
empty stomach. I want that warm feeling. I don't want any bread soaking that stuff up.
Oh God!
I don't know what the rule is on that.
Well, maybe it varies state by state. And don't anyone do this and then sue me when you get arrested.
I probably
But I thought
would,
I had
though.
heard that somewhere.
I mean,
How
sitting
old
down at a...
before you allow your kid to have a glass of wine.
I think it would really depend on the kid. I mean, if it's a cool, responsible, good grades, you're just a pretty stand-up kid.
Would you be disappointed if your kid didn't like the taste of wine?
I would wonder if he or she was mine.
Yeah.
Deep down, you're hurt.
Yeah.
And they think mommy's disgusting.
Did you really like your first taste of beer as a kid? Usually you make the sour face and, I didn't like my first taste.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Of beer?
No, I didn't.
I
remember-
did.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, one of my buddies got a little girl. How old is she? I think she might have turned 2, maybe. She's a wino.
Well, that's not right.
I mean, she will grab a wine glass on the table and
Oh, no.
Yeah, and she will drink all night long, everybody under the table.
Shut up.
Maybe not drink all night long, but it's like...
She takes little sips.
It's reaching for it like it's mom's breast.
Oh.
I want it. Give me.
Oh, I think I know which friend you're talking about. Well, that makes sense. She's got to keep her dad in business.
The next generation of Lindsay Lohan's coming up through the ranks.
Probably, I don't know.
Picture her passed out in the car.
16, 17, maybe, if we're sitting down and we're having a meal.
They didn't get on their own at 16 and 17. It's a little bit long to make them wait for their first
quote legally.
Sip. Yeah, but how many 17-year-olds are going to go, oh, gee, Mom and Dad, I've never tasted alcohol before. Thank you. Wink, 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 wink,
so
wink.
What's your age of introducing alcohol to your children?
Well, I know they're going to get it anyway by the time they're in high school at 13 or 14.
No.
It seems to me, yeah, come on. You get to high school, they're now hanging out with older kids who have it. I think it's very, very likely that when you're a freshman, you probably have it then if you've never had it before. Because people around you are older and have it. So I think if I had kids, I'd have the talk. I would give a graph presentation, show pictures of drunk drivers with people missing their heads in car crashes. I mean, I'd put the fear of God in them. Don't drive drunk. Don't even think about it. Call me anytime. I promise not to lecture till you sober up the next day. Don't do that. But you know what? Okay, I want you to have a little taste. This is beer. This is whiskey. This is wine.
On the same night?
And go through a little presentation. Okay, now this is what it is. Now you've had it. You don't have to go out and find it at some party. And you can't legally have this at 21. Now tonight is spaghetti night. And you're going to have a small little glass.
Why don't you do that with all
wine.
drugs then?
Well, drugs. Don't booze.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
You're like, well, here it is.
Out.
You've had it. You don't go search it out.
Maybe you
here's
should.
Some weed. Here's some coke. Here's some shrooms.
Not coke.
Here's some LSD. Here's some heroin. Here's some crack.
Stop it, weed, Frank.
Mom's cooking up meth tonight. Yeah. No. What are we having? Well, I'm cooking up meth.
Now you've had it with your mom. You don't need to go searching for it. We got it here at home.
Finish your amphetamine so you can't watch any television.
But, Mom, I'll be up all night.
They're probably going to try mom's amphetamines way before they're going to try drinking anyway because they're going to go in and sneak your pills. I mean, if you have a prescription for something.
Well,
your kids go in there and, Dad's got a whole bottle of Vicodin. He won't miss 2 tonight.
My kid would be so bored. I got a woman's 1 a day and Midol. That's all I got. I don't take anything. I don't even
but
take
you probably should take the Midol.
Please.
Whether you need it or not.
Midol with wine chaser.
Have any extra? I can use one of those too.
You could have used a couple yesterday and actually one this morning.
I wonder how many people actually count their pills. If you have kids that are of the age where they may run in there and sneak out a pain pill or whatever those pills are you have in your medicine cabinet, I wonder if you should count them and keep track of them.
We should probably hide them.
Yeah, but they're going to find them. They're going to hear. If you have a bottle full of pills, you wouldn't miss a couple.
I'm good at hiding stuff.
If you're a kid, you're going to find it, though.
Right, so I think you should count them every night.
You went and searched for your Christmas presents.
Yeah, but my mom wasn't good at it. I mean, she thought the trunk of the car was really clever. Well,
ooh, that is good.
Well, it is because you don't have a key.
Oh, well, when she's in the bathtub, I go into her purse and I grab out the Cavalier key and I open the trunk and I see the presents. Then I close the trunk and I put the key away. Now, next time, now I know they're there.
Why the anxiety of finding out when your mom drives a Cavalier? Really? Can it be that great? I mean, are you going to open the trunk and be like, oh, my God, shut.
Well, one year, yeah, she did wrap socks and underwear in a cordless telephone box, which I thought was extremely cruel. There's a picture of me with the cordless phone box and me, like, with... so excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a cordless phone. Yay. And then I opened it up and it was socks and underwear. And I thought, that's really cruel to do to a kid. Like, the box is better than the gift. You don't do that. You do it the other way around.
Oh, no.
Awful.
That is.
I was so excited, Frosty.
Did they take a follow-up photo of you?
Oh. I think so. Yeah, I was like, what? It was that, what the F face.
Let me guess. Then you got a lecture from the children in China who have nothing.
Of course I did.
Right. And since you're...
How dare you? And your mom runs to the room and starts crying, then you gotta go apologize, get her back out.
Who really got the cordless phone? Where'd that end up? Someone got a cordless phone.
I don't know. Then we had a glass.
The neighbor did. She just needed a box and picked it out of the trash.
Then we had a glass of white Zinfandel and it was fine.
888-520-9710 is our number. Jack, you're with Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Hey, guys. What's up? First-time caller, long-time listener. I love your show.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, I was in a stopped car, and the police come up behind me, and I had a 2-footer or a 3-footer between my legs. Yeah, and I was in the process of getting a medical card, but I was under 18. They wanted to make a big deal out of it, and they pulled me over and put me in the back of the car, the cop car, took me over, started questioning me, and okay, the driver is this guy who's had all these knee surgeries, and I'm over here with a slipped disc. I'm telling him, this is medicine. This is better than Vicodin for me. Long story short, he's like, okay. well, just do it indoors. Don't do it outside.
He got the one cool cop still in the force somewhere. He found the cool cop. Steve in Chandler, Arizona, what's up?
Welcome, guys. How are you? Can't wait to see you sometime out here in Phoenix if people ever make it out.
Okay, do this. Go.
No, I did that St. Patrick's Day, remember? And I'm still waiting. I'm so mad.
I know, us too.
So what's going on, Steve?
You were talking about the alcohol. There was actually a topic was brought up out here. And some states you are allowed in the confines of your own home, but Arizona's one that it is not. And that's actually endangerment of a child. They'll come and arrest you if they find out you're giving your kids booze out here. But the one thing they do say, you can give ice cream to, kids around, the schools, right, Frosty? That's okay.
That's right. That's where, I move most of my bee stock that way.
Help them find your puppy.
Right.
But what if I give my kid a cold beer while I leave him in the car while I go eat at Cracker Barrel? Is that like a push because they're really not going to overheat? Even though I'm giving them a cold beer?
Get it back to Junction, that's fine out here. That's no problem.
I had like a story in the news where a woman tied her kid in the car. There was like a rope around his ankle tied to, something in the car. And they were inside Cracker Barrel eating.
Oh, nice.
Someone saw the kid. I think he was 6 years old, and he was all sweating.
I saw the other day at the grocery store. Now, the kids were a little bit older, but still, if they were my kids, I wouldn't have left them. They were in a big SUV, windows cracked, and the mom had set the alarm. Now, she was probably just going to go into the grocery store to pick up a few things and be right back out. But
what if she left the car running?
Huh?
Is that okay? Leaving the car running with your kids in it with the doors locked?
They can move the thing.
Hit the stick and off
these
it
kids
goes.
were probably like
asphyxiation too.
10. There were 4 kids in there, like 10, 7, and 5 and 6. Maybe. I mean, they were kind of close in age. And they kept setting off the car alarm because they were moving in there, and they kept doing whoop, whoop. And I'm like, what? Whose car is that?
Kids find that fun.
Sure enough, I go out there and I see that it's a bunch of kids by themselves. I mean, I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything?
No.
Didn't call 911?
No.
Well, I mean, you would want to. I mean, being the good citizen and all, you figure if there's a kid in the car, you got to go say something.
They seemed fine.
Guy did that at the gas station. It was obviously the dad was inside, left a kid in the car, and some guy decided to speak up. Hey, you don't leave your kid in your car. Guy shot him.
Oh.
Drove away.
Another reason you just mind your own business sometimes.
Yeah.
Shot him.
Plus, a gas station's a weak call to be a good citizen. Because, I mean, I'm pumping my gas, I'm going in, I'm paying, I'm coming back out.
You're back in a minute.
I'm not shopping, I'm not eating at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, if it was in a mall parking lot, I may have said something, but it's right outside the Ralph's.
I'm so glad the father, he set a really good example for his son. Son, if someone, you just pull out a gun and you shoot him. If anyone, that's what you do, son. Now let's go.
MYOB.
888-520-9710. Back with your calls. Oh, you can send us an email during the show, too. Here's that address.
Let's be Frank, 971 at MSN.com.
We are Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. Free FM, Frosty, Heidi, and Frank. I'm kind of worried about us, guys. What's happened to our show? Here we are, discussion about booze, and we're not drinking.
I know.
888-520-9710 is our number. Hello, Elo.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm from Wisconsin, and when you are at a restaurant with your parents, you're allowed to order a drink for your kids.
Yeah, I kind of knew that, Elo, because I worked in Milwaukee for a couple of years, and I knew from that you could give your children in that state, booze.
Where did you guys work? Where did you work there?
Hot 102 at the time, WLUM. Frank actually was.
Yeah. Okay. You guys are awesome. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks,
love you,
Elo.
too. Hey, Danielle.
Hello.
What's up?
Love you guys. Just want to give you guys a heads up on California laws that, yes, it is contributing to a delinquency of a minor in our state, but other states like Wisconsin, Louisiana, Texas, they have consent laws where...
How do you know this?
You get... Because I'm an officer.
Really?
An officer, Danielle.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I'm actually going to court right now in a case similar to this.
So you caught somebody giving their kid a glass of wine with dinner?
Yeah, actually, it was in public. This wasn't a household deal, so this was actually a furnishing to a minor.
But the law in California says you can't let your kid have a beer at the barbecue in your backyard.
Correct.
All right.
So don't even do it in your own house in this state. If you want to do it, move to Wisconsin.
Exactly, or Texas, or Louisiana, or other states that may have
every
it.
state you don't want to live.
Right.
Exactly.
It's the one good thing about living in Milwaukee, Frank.
Just that one thing.
Tom in Tempe, Arizona. You're with Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.
Hey, guys.
And Frosty?
That never gets old.
I know. Hey, I gave my 16-year-old son a prescription sleeping pill last night. Do you think that was wrong?
Yeah.
I don't. No.
Prescription drugs, you can't play in that swimming pool because that's medically dangerous.
Why did he have to have the sleeping pill? Was there a problem?
Yeah, he hasn't been sleeping. He just moved in with me a couple of weeks ago.
You should be a doctor.
I really should. Look at me, Nancy Drew. I'm Mark Helgenberger.
Was he having trouble sleeping?
No. I mean, like, does he have back? I mean, was there some sort of thing that caused the sleeplessness? That's what I meant.
No, I think it's more of a mental. He just moved in with me and away from his mother, and I think he's having a hard time with it.
What's wrong with Sominex and that, Nitol and over-the-counter stuff?
Then you'd have to get up and go get it.
Exactly. I was too drunk to go drive and get anything else.
Here, I got an Ambien.
No
a couple years old.
Fall asleep.
What you did was wrong, Tom. You can't do that. You can't give prescription anything to anyone.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
So you don't think I should give him my morphine then if his back hurts?
No.
Okay, that might be.
We'll cut it in half. More drinking stories. This is out of New Zealand. A New Zealand judge halted a court hearing when the suspect that was facing charges of drunk driving was drunk at the hearing.
Uh-oh.
Lyle George Morgan appeared to fall asleep in the city's district court while his lawyer was questioning a prosecution witness. Morgan's 42, and he's been charged with drunk driving after being found asleep behind the wheel of a vehicle at a gas station. A breath alcohol test showed that he was nearly 3 times over the alcohol limit to drive. And when the judge, Kevin Phillips, noticed the defendant dozing, he halted proceedings and asked defense counsel David Slater if Morgan was drunk. And his lawyer said this: a distinct possibility. So the judge said he wouldn't continue the hearing for a man who was drunk and had slept through most of the evidence. Morgan awoke again and responded, I'm not drunk in your court. You want to see me drunk in your court? So police escorted him to the courthouse, and he was ordered to reappear sometime in August. Police filed no fresh charges. And not to be topped by New Zealander Lyle Morgan, we have our own guy like that out of Missoula, Montana. His name is Adam T. Lundgren. He's also 42. And he was cited for drunk driving twice in the same day by the same officer. And he showed up drunk to court.
Well, how do you get the same guy? Did they give him a ticket?
Well, it's Missoula. I mean, I don't know how many cops they have. But he was arrested or spotted driving erratically around 5:30 in the evening. He went to jail, was later released to a sober friend, but jumped from the friend's car and returned to downtown Missoula where he continued drinking.
Okay.
And then about 10 p.m., Lundgren drove into a bridge railing and started to run away, and then he was caught by the cops. He posted $700 bail. The next day showed up for court, but he showed up drunk.
Oh, my God.
Take that, Danny Bonaducci. Someone's outdone you.
No kidding. No,
I'm not sure, but he may have a drinking problem.
You think?
It's possible.
I get you want to, you got out of jail and out of drunk tank and you want to continue partying. Don't you just stay home and open another, bottle of whiskey?
No, really, that's buzzkill for me.
You're done for the night.
Like when I got that ticket for possession. It wasn't mine. It was in my lap by the bike cop.
Oh, save it for the judge, Frank.
No, that's like right we were going out. Nobody had anything to drink yet. I had a bottle of Vicodin in my pocket and a pack of weed on my lap.
Yeah, that looks good.
I haven't had anything yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I just want to go home. It ruined my evening.
I
was like,
imagine.
Hey, I didn't go to jail. Let's go party. I was like, this sucks, man. I don't even want to drink or smoke or even take my Vicodin.
Good for you, but I don't think that's the normal response.
Ruins my good times.
Oh.
The poor bastards who have a drinking problem. Well, I shouldn't call you poor bastards because I may have one myself.
We all do.
Yeah, anyway, it kind of sucks because the pressures of the world, whatever, they get to you. We just want to get away from work, get away from your situation, go have a beer and forget life, right? So if you get caught drunk and you get a ticket and you have to go to court, that's the time you really need a beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when you really, really need to get drunk. So it's like a hellish dilemma.
Yeah, a catch-22. Frosty, where's Luxembourg?
Luxembourg is sort of in the middle of Europe, very small country.
Yeah, it's its own place.
Yeah, it's very
smallest
small.
Country?
Liechtenstein is, but
Liechtenstein.
I think it's near Belgium. It's sort of between France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands.
Well, the World Health Organization put out an annual alcohol consumption per person, and Luxembourg came in first place.
Well, of course.
Oh, I thought they were tiny, but they drink
tiny.
15.5 liters of alcohol per person a year, which is this a bottle of Evian water. But call me an alcoholic. That doesn't seem like that much.
That's it?
15.5 of these a year, it's on average, per person.
That's not a lot.
If I drink a bottle of wine a night, does that sound like a lot?
So you're drinking 365 of those a year?
And they're only drinking 15.5.
Well, then, okay, we can call you an alcoholic.
Oh, come on.
I wonder if it's because some people don't drink at all, and that means you have to drink like 2 or 3 times that average. I mean, the average doesn't really mean much because some people abstain totally. It implies that everyone drinks, but not everyone does.
Exactly.
So the average is kind of an artificial middle number.
Mormons make you look better.
Okay, got it.
It comes down to a national survey.
Yeah, because the United States, they're not representing.
We're not.
No. They came in, we came in.
So the leader was 15?
15.5 liters, and then Ireland's in next place with 13.7.
Yay! Although it still seems low to me.
I know.
Because everyone drinks in Ireland.
USA is 8. No?
Way.
We're not even a bronze medal here?
Not even a bronze. You're
Come
not,
on,
if we're
United
hide
States.
And seek, you're cold. You're freezing.
3?
I'm not even on the list, not even top 20?
40th.
40th?
40th place?
Yes.
That's embarrassing.
No kidding.
Come on, USA. You could do better than that.
8 liters
At least
a
crack
year.
30 or 35 by next year. Let's work on that.
Ashamed.
What's wrong with you people? Tom Likas takes over when we are done. We are Frosty, Heidi, and Frank.